the difficult choices and decisions that we have to make in love, and being willing to like commit to those choices and decisions in order to have like a healthy foundation. So I'm getting a lot of that energy. I'm like really seeing that card in my head as I'm looking at this. Like there's all of this fire behind here. So this person feels, with the Gemini energy, they feel as though you mirror them really well, and this is just the path that they feel is right for them at this time, and so they're going to make this choice or this decision regardless of how it affects others, or it's like they're no longer making choices and decisions solely to please others or worrying about like other people's feelings and happiness above their own. It's like something about you really stands out to them, and so they want to move and act in such a way that reflects that. um, yeah, there's something about you, there's like a light shine on you, or you really stand out. So you could be receiving some sort of information. It could be like communication from them, but it also could come from like another party here. With this bird, it's like spirit could work to like drop some sort of information or, yeah, key perspective or insight, to help you understand like, hi there. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Chalices. So already this could be kind of like a third party energy. Finally being able to move forward after being really stagnant in a confusing situation with multiple energies, finally unlocking the truth, some sort of secret, in order to be able to move forward or rise above like some sort of competitive energy in your life. It's like there was like this stalemate before where you couldn't make progress, and now your spirit's like instrumentally giving you key information or some sort of key tool to be able to um, get like a step ahead, or, yeah, unlock like a new level, a new layer, um, for there to be able to be like growth in the situation. So it's going to be like changes coming in like very swiftly, kind of like cascading due to the spiritual work that you've done. You could have had to go through a lot of like difficult, challenging things, release a lot emotionally to get to this point. So, the other person, we have the Mage of Daggers and the Two of Daggers. So, this definitely could have been someone who was kind of like caught up between two people, or struggling to make a choice between two things, struggling to know which direction to go in. They were like stuck in a negative cycle or a negative loop. There could have been someone else that was like influencing this, or yeah, had a lot of influence over the direction they went in. So it kept them repeatedly in this cycle of like going against what they want in order to please others. It's like they were really confused on how to get out of this, and how to like take control back of their own life, or release themselves from like the grip or the grasp of the scrutiny of like what someone else thinks, someone else's desires, someone else's thought process. We have air signs. um yeah, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with both of these cards. So it's like really struggling to know how to break the cycle and move forward and kind of take back control. It's like they went back and forth between like that and just staying in the cycle to please others, or to kind of like go with the flow to make other people happy. um so they could be like finally taking that initiative now. With the Mage of Daggers, I'm also seeing another message of them like reaching out and grabbing It's like finally making a choice or finally taking control, like finally choosing one thing, and like kind of sticking to that. So they could be like currently breaking the cycle of just like not knowing which direction to move in, not knowing how to move forward, how to create that balance for themselves. We have the conjurer. So this is a high priestess. The moon energy. So at this time, you could be kind of waking up to a lot of your spiritual abilities, just in a place where you're very heavily guided by spirit, making a lot of like changes and adjustments, unlocking a lot of like hidden wisdom within yourself. It's like randomly out of nowhere, you could be getting these really deep, insightful perspectives or downloads and just stuff coming to you in ways that it hasn't before. So it's like spirit's helping to illuminate how to move forward. So you're like learning how to read the signs and symbols that you're being given and work with that energy to move forward. You could be also just like choosing to like go back to school or something, or um, tap into some sort of spiritual studies or spiritual knowledge at this time. Seeking like counseling or some sort of like higher level, like even with these like tarot readings, that could be like a new thing for you to be like searching for like the answers or wisdom and knowledge, but in a more spiritual and like deep way. You could be going through a lot of like full circle moments, having like deja vu, stuff like that, where you're seeing like all these crazy synchronizations and you're starting to put it all together and see like just the bigger picture. Yeah, the viewer could just be going through a very like illuminated time where it's like you're being guided, but you can't exactly see where you're going, or yeah, in the moment you can't always see everything, and then it's like once you look back on the situation you see how everything kind of like connected to get you to this point. So you're having all of these like full circle moments, like I said. um so with the connecting energy here, we have the Four of Daggers, your energy towards them. We have the Five of Cups, and we have the Lovers for their energy towards you. So definitely with like this, with them like reaching out and finally taking that initiative or taking something into their own hands, they've finally chosen a direction. So they've made a choice, or they're currently making choices. I have one deck where like the Lovers card in the slow tarot, the Lovers card is depicted as like these two lovers having a picnic and they're like tied together, and then in the background the house is on fire. And in the explanation it's like the Lovers card is mainly about like choices and the difficult choices and decisions that we have to make in love, and being willing to like yeah, commit to those choices and decisions in order to have like a healthy foundation. So I'm getting a lot of that energy. I'm like really seeing that card in my head as I'm looking at this. Like there's all of this fire behind here. So this person feels, with the Gemini energy, they feel as though you mirror them really well, and this is just the path that they feel is right for them at this time, and so they're going to make this choice or this decision regardless of how it affects others, or it's like they're no longer making choices and decisions solely to please others or worrying about like other people's feelings and happiness above their own. It's like something about you really stands out to them, and so they want to move and act in such a way that reflects that. Yeah, there's something about you, there's like a light shine on you, or you really stand out. So you could be receiving some sort of information. It could be like communication from them, but it also could come from like another party here with this bird. It's like spirit could work to like drop some sort of information or, yeah, key perspective or insight to help you understand like the changes that this other person is currently making at this time, because from your perspective you may not understand like how great their feelings are for you or how much you stand out from others. It may just kind of feel there's something here where it's like you felt like there was something unsafe or off limits, or you felt like you couldn't move forward at this time. So because of these third party energies around this person, they may not have been like in another relationship specifically. There may have just been people around them that had a lot of control and influence over the choices and decisions that they made. And so because of that, you felt like it wasn't safe to try to like move forward or to communicate. We have literally like every card, it's like air, 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 all coming through, air signs. And then water too. The moon, Cancer, literally all water and air signs. Um, but anyways, there was something here where you just knew like if you move forward, it was going to be hurtful or painful. It was just like not safe to move forward. So there needed to be healing and also like extraction. Like this other person needed to remove these blockages and whatever was going on within them that was stopping them from being able to take this initiative and make these choices and decisions and keeping them stuck in this like negative loop of like not knowing which direction to go in or how to do things. It's like they needed to be able to remove this energy. And so at this time, it's like they could be taking that power into their hands to release these things. So then they can make the choice to move towards their eternal bliss, right? What they think will reflect that happiness and love that they've been searching for, but they felt as though they didn't have, even though they were actively making choices and sacrifices to give that to the people around them. So there's been this heavy imbalance where it's like, yeah, the people around them just didn't reflect back the same level of care. Um, they can just see really clearly at this time. It's like they've taken the blinders off and they see exactly what they need to remove around them to be free to make the choices and decisions that reflect their their happiness, their heart, their best self. They're on their spiritual journey. Um, but to you, you can't see all of that happening. Like from your perspective, you may be like waking up and kind of experiencing a lot spiritually at this time, but you can't see like everything happening on the other side or all of these choices. Exactly how this person is working to like remove certain energies around them and take power back in their own life and take control back of, you know, their choices and the direction they're going in. And it's like you may be reflecting that in your life. So the same message I got in the beginning where it's like you're making a lot of choices and decisions and you're not seeing in the moment how it's like spiritually connected, and then later you look back and you see how every little thing was like divinely orchestrated. And so you're really waking up to spirit like working in your life at this time. It's going to be the same thing like once you could eventually come back together with this person or once you reconnect, you're going to see how like a lot of the choices and decisions that you were being led to make at this time, they were also being led to do similar things. Like you're very much mirroring each other at this time. Again, it's just you can't, right now as you're making these choices, these adjustments, you can't see how this other person is being guided to do these same things. um, and so for you, it could be like you're starting to kind of like lose hope, or you felt at one time if you were to like reach out and be the one to try to communicate with them, that it would just leave you hurting or leave you heartbroken or leave you disappointed in some way. You could have kind of like given up on the situation because you just felt like there was no hope, or there was nothing that you could do. Yeah, there's something to where you could have either gotten really disappointed in the past, or you felt like it wasn't safe to move towards this because you were just going to get disappointed again. It's like you don't want to be like hurt. So you could have just felt like you needed to focus on yourself and like grow within yourself. But it's like you're completely unaware of it, but there's something about you that you really stand out to this other person. You're just like totally set apart from the crowd. It's like not even a question. Like it's not even comparable of like you and like their other options, but they were just doing other things to like please other people. It's like they were living um to like rise to meet someone else's like very rigid and high standards and expectations, instead of making choices and decisions that reflected them, their heart, their highest self, what they truly want, what they think would truly make them happy, what they're most in alignment with. So yeah, this person's definitely waking up and making a lot of changes and shifts. They're like breaking out of a personal cycle within themselves, and you're in the process of being illuminated to how like every cycle within your life is connected like in this greater spiritual way. So it's like spirit is working to unknowingly kind of lead you back together. But it could be because like if you would have known, if you would like consciously know that spirit was leading you back to this person, maybe you would have not went for it, or you would have avoided it, or you would have done something to like unknowingly sabotage it, because it's like our feelings and emotions come into the situation, and like however you felt in the past, like you may have brought that into the situation. So it's like it's almost like you have to be like blindly led into this like perfect place in order to reconnect with them in a way that you will understand that it was like divinely led, or this spiritual thing, or yeah, you were brought back together for like a higher purpose in order for you to truly trust the situation. Because yeah, there could have been something really hurtful, some sort of disappointment in the past. It's like, yeah, if you would have consciously known that this was the end goal, or that you were making all these choices to then have this person in your life, you maybe would have rejected it based off of how they made you feel in the past, or whatever was going on in the past. There was something to where you really didn't want to get hurt. You really avoided, you like fell back on like your wisdom or your personal experience in life, and was like, okay, um you acted in like a very like wise and mature way in order to avoid being greatly hurt, emotionally affected, disappointed, let down. You didn't want this situation to also like affect you and make you stuck as well. You didn't want to like take on this person's energy. So it's like you moved how you did in order to like ultimately protect yourself. So yeah, you maybe would have been hesitant to then like purposefully or consciously like want to come back together with this person, but they're breaking through like some major cycles. And yeah, with this I'm just really getting, it's like they're taking some major initiative to like cut and remove um certain things, so that they're free to just move however they want, and they don't have the same issues kind of debilitating them. So yeah, this is really interesting how it's all air and water signs all across here. Um, we do have some earth on the bottom and some fire on the bottom of the deck, but definitely like air and water. In the present energy, we have the disenchanted, water, Neptune. So there's Pisces energy here. So this is the devil card, I believe. Or no. Yeah, I think so. The devil is the 15th card, I believe. Um, so they're breaking free from this like self-sabotage energy with the Scorpio there, or Scorpion. They're learning how to like rise out of the illusions and breaking free from before they could have felt like they were trapped and stuck and held down and held back, but it was a lot of their own fears and their own illusions keeping them trapped and caged. It was a lot of their own self-imposed actions. There weren't as many limitations and shackles around them as they once believed. It's like they always had the power to take this in their own hands and redirect the energy of their life, move in the direction that pleased them or made them happy. It's like they always had this power to like make these choices for themselves, and they're really waking up to this now. So in the past energy, we have this here. So this is more energy with the Mage of Chains. It's more energy of being held down, restricted, caged, and it's like due to someone else's influence, someone else's direct, yeah, someone else had like direct power and influence over how they moved and operated, and so that was putting these cages on them. But it's not like that other person really had that power. It's like they were allowing someone else to have that power over them. They could have broken these chains and broke free of this and taken this upon themselves to like cut things out and remove themselves from any cycle they didn't want to be in all along. But they could have been overly concerned with like living to please others. So they're realizing it's not worth it in the long run to um, make all of your choices and decisions based off of like what other people want, other people's desires, living to please others and make others happy. Because then it's ultimately just like causing you to be stuck or held back, or like you're the one missing out on things, or you're the one like disappointing yourself and others, and like you're the one that has to live with that or deal with that. It's like whoever's around you that has all these expectations that you're trying to please, they're not the ones that has to deal with the way that they feel then when they don't make choices and decisions that reflect what they really want, or they're not choosing something they really want, or they're disappointing someone that they really care about. It's like that affects them emotionally, and it doesn't affect whoever they've been living to please. So it's like they're doing all the work to make all these people happy, and then they're also dealing with all the emotional repercussions on their own. And so they're starting to realize like I can only live for me, and so I have to make choices that reflect that and put myself first and do things that are going to make me happy, because I'm the only one that has to live with it whenever I'm in a situation that doesn't make me happy, right? Is other people can have as much judgment or thought about it, but it really doesn't affect them at the end of the day. And so we shouldn't make our choices and decisions based off of what other people think, because we're the only ones that are going to have to live with what we choose and how we choose to live and who we choose to have a part of our lives and all of these things. So in the future energy, it's like they're growing and they're expanding, and they're realizing they can have like certain limits and standards for themselves, but they don't have to be so rigid. Like they can expand on this, and they are kind of figuring it out. Like moving forward, they're going to have to learn how to balance out this energy of like feeling more free and not kind of like then go to the other extreme and make like really immature, unhealthy choices for themselves. Or it's like trying to find a way to like balance out all of it. So we have falling apart in the reverse and diamond girl in the reverse. So I feel as though they're like very drawn to you, very attracted to you. you really just stand out, right? Like you're completely set apart from others, but they couldn't like come forward and express that, or they felt like you were out of touch or out of reach. They couldn't have that or have you. And so it's like putting them in this place of like falling apart, but they could have been like hiding this for a long time. It's like this was affecting them way more than they were willing to admit. They were a lot more attracted to you than they were willing to admit. They were just hiding a lot of what they're going through. So more energy to where it's like you can't see everything that's happening on the other side, and like all of the choices and changes that they're making and why, and how kind of like emotionally pushed they were to do this, but it's still all kind of happening. This is our bottom of the deck energy, so that might resonate for someone. There could have been just like some really disappointing things in the connection in the past, that you felt like you needed to like protect yourself from at one time. And we have air, and the 28th could be relevant, but literally air. So this is confirming even more air energy. We had air showed up the most on all of the cards for sure. So and we have meditate on the bottom of the deck. So spirit is saying find a way to kind of clear your mind and find peace of mind in the situation. Meditating can be the best way to like release that stuck energy of like whatever's happened in the past here that was really hurtful, or that you felt as though you needed to protect yourself from. And we have soulmate underneath that. So this could be like in regards to a soulmate connection. It could be like a deeper level of healing. I'm seeing more of like the Gemini lovers. It's like just fitting together, opposites that fit together in the most interesting way. And we also have power. This person's like reclaiming their personal power, right? Knowledge. So spirit is empowering you both in the situation and working to give you new information, that key insight in order to unlock like that key information that you need in order to be able to reclaim your power in the situation. Ooh, and we have transmute. It's all about like with the snakes, it's like shedding the skin in order to grow into the new. And literally right underneath that is the butterfly. So 2 cards all about like releasing the past and letting go of how things were in the past in order to create space to grow into something new where you can kind of flourish and have something new and different and exciting on a completely different level than whatever you experienced previously. We also have patience needed. So be mindful not to rush or push your agenda. We also have good news. So good things are coming. You are getting good news. Like some sort of key information could be coming your way again. Spirit is working to give you that like key insight or perspective that you need. So it's just like having the patience at this time. Family dynamics. Reconcile. Your family is requiring a time to heal issues that have created a wedge or unrest. We all need support as we move forward, and having an open family unit is essential. Open, loving family unit is essential. So this person could be a part of your soul family. You could be coming together to like heal a soul connection and kind of help each other grow at this time. Stuck energy, alignment. Your body's requiring energy work to get back in alignment by balancing your chakras and clearing your auric field. You have stuck energy that can be caused by holding on to pain or having resistance to let new energy flow in. Get grounded and reconnect to your body once again. So meditation can be a great way to like help sit with this energy in order to release it. Messing with fire, protection. Sometimes you need to walk away from situations not to get burned. When there's resistance from others to resolve matters, or if the energy is negative in your environment, it's best to detach and clear your energy field. So I feel your person, the other person in this reading here, is learning this lesson at this time. Mountaintop, balance. Carrying the burdens has made you wary as you traveled up the mountain of responsibility. You have the choice to view your life from a higher perspective. When you let go of control, delegate responsibility, and focus on things that hold value, your life feels more balanced. So definitely they're learning like what's important, what to take with them. They want to get to this like higher place with only the people and things that really matter. So you could be kind of going through the same thing of wanting to create that balance and have people who like help work with you and uplift you on your journey. And we have the prosperity and awakening. So another key of like unlocking wisdom, unlocking deeper levels. And this card is just reminding you to have a gentle touch in the situation because you and the other person, you or the other person could be very sensitive, but it could be both of you since I accidentally said it like that. And then we have on the bottom of the deck this teaching, and we have grounding. So I'll read both of those for you. The situation you are inquiring about encounters teaching, encourages teaching, whether it be student, teacher, parent, child, or as friend to friend. We are all of us learning and teaching constantly when we are maintaining a high vibrational energetically. Never despair that the seeds that you have planted have failed to take root. They may be taking time to germinate, or they may have migrated to another field. Do not plant seeds with the expectation of an outcome disengaged from the attachment to the outcome of the situation. Okay, I'm so sorry. Do not plant seeds with the expectation of an outcome. Disengage from the attachment of the outcome of the situation and move on. A farmer doesn't sit down next to the seeds he plants waiting for them to sprout. What a recipe for disappointment. He plants them and moves on. Never once does he second guess that he was doing the right thing the right way. He simply does what he is called to do, and he trusts that the fruits of his labor will do what they're supposed to be. This card also encourages a more formal teaching experience. Look for ways you can enrich others' lives through sharing your expertise and knowledge. So I definitely picked up on that in the beginning. Like you could be going back to school or choosing to take time out for like spiritual practices, spiritual learning, or there could be some sort of teaching available to you, and Spirit is encouraging you to go for it. Yeah, you could be like being called to step into more of a teaching role. But there's definitely something here to learn. So two cards saying having that patience, that there's something deeper working here, and trusting in Spirit to give you the information that you need in perfect timing. And you have grounding. As humans, our bodies are out of the earth. It is a natural inclination when we experience uncomfortable emotions or energies to ground it out, much in the way the ground wire works with electrical current. However, with so much in our modern lives, that causes us to be disconnected from Creator, and we tend to gravitate towards false grounding. Overeating, smoking, drinking, and recreational drugs are common ways some try to ground. These are items of the earth, but they are not the earth. This is not a true grounding. It is such it cannot sustain. It doesn't last. What ends up happening is that, as with most experiences that are false, we need more and more to achieve the same result. To truly ground and connect to both the earth and Creator, practice consciously connecting your energy to the earth. You should not be getting your energy outside of yourself, but directly from the divine. This is achieved through meditation, energy work, and mindfulness. Find a way that works for you and practice it. By drawing this card, you're being asked to look at the areas in your life where you may be employing false grounding as a coping mechanism. So, Spirit's reminding you how powerful you are and that you have all of the tools that you need to get through the situation and gain the insights needed to move appropriately as you're navigating this. So I'll have an extended reading, taking a deeper look into this other person and some messages from them, some more oracle cards. So that'll be linked in the description. I also offer personal readings if you're interested in that. But I hope you have a really great day.